We're back. It's leg day. I'm making myself a big cream of rice before the gym. It's funny, this is like pretty much where my whole social media journey started. Just making up a big bowl of cream of rice. It is still my absolute go-to pre and post workout meal. One or the other. So why am I so confident that this bulk is going to be as good as I think it is? Three reasons. The most obvious one is the fact that I don't have chronic nerve pain holding me back this time. So just for context, I started having those nerve problems back in 2021, and I trained through that problem for years. Like I made so much progress, especially like on my last bulk from about 2022 to 2023. Like that problem really started popping off in 2023. Like I was having sessions where I just completely couldn't hold on to anything because my hand was hurting so bad. Like there were times where I just had to leave the gym because I couldn't train that day. And I still managed to put on heaps of size despite that. So in my head, I'll be able to make so much more progress without that issue affecting me. Reason number two is that I'm now armed with all the knowledge and experience that I got from that last bulk because that bulk went really well. That was probably the most productive like phase I've had in my like gym career so far. So I put on about 12 kilos over that course of over that span of 2022 to 2023. But I definitely did things not the most efficient way. So I was super lazy about nutrition and I knew it. Like I didn't track a single calorie or macro for that entire bulk. For me, my way of gauging progress was just watching the scale. So I felt like I had a pretty good idea of like how many calories to eat and like how much protein I needed to eat just by eyeballing it from previously tracking. So I was just taking my daily weight, and as long as the average weight was trending up, I was happy. And it was. And like I was just eating whatever. Like I didn't consider it much of a dirty bulk, but looking back, it was the dirtiest possible bulk. I was getting, takeaway and pizzas and things constantly. There was a point where I was using like cinnamon scrolls as pre-workout. And I think honestly the best pump I ever got in the gym was from having a cinnamon scroll. So that might have actually been the moment where I accidentally discovered how good carbs are pre-workout. And then there's the whole training side of it too. So like everyone likes to think that they know everything. So back on that bulk, I thought, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've been in the gym for a few years. I know how to train. And then when I'm looking at the videos I have of that time period, the sets aren't great. Like they're fine, but I'm doing reps a bit too fast. I'm bouncing out of the bottom of a range. Like I'm not getting quality work that I know I can. So now I'm coming into this bulk with all the experience, all the mistakes I made last time around, knowing that I can do better. And I'm just keen to see how far I can push the progress, like how much size I can build, how much strength I can build, doing things the right way. And the third reason is just simply that drive, that passion that got me into the gym in the first place is that's burning harder, that's burning brighter than it's ever burnt before. Like if you have made like a big change in your life, you probably felt that like intrinsic drive to push you to do it that just got you out of bed every day and kept you pushing towards that goal. And then over time, it kind of, ebbs and flows. Like there'll be moments where you're super driven and super locked into that one thing. And then you'll have moments where you're a bit lazier, you're focusing on other things, you're just kind of on autopilot. So there were definitely times in the last few years where I was definitely on autopilot in the gym. I was just going in 5, 6 days a week, just getting my session done, going home, not thinking about it. After all the time I spent sitting at home injured and wondering if I'd ever be able to lift again, I think something just kind of rewired in my brain where now that I can train again, I know that I'm not going to waste a single moment. I'm not going to waste a single session. I'm going to push myself as hard as I can every single time. Not that I need to like make up lost progress or anything, but just knowing that that's what I wanted. Like at the start of this year, sometime around February or March, I remember thinking to myself, oh no, I've succeeded, like I know I've made it when I can wake up one day, double scoop my pre-workout, get to the gym, put some music on, and then just lift, go for a PR, hit some heavy weights. Because back then that seemed like some faraway goal, like unrealistic. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again. And the fact that that's what I'm going to do today, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. Just pretty much waiting for this thing to cool down. All right, leg day. So I'm doing legs twice a week in my current split. So the first one's more of a quads and adductors session, and then the second one is more glutes and hamstrings. So today is the glute and hamstring day. So I typically structure my leg days with 3 exercises for one muscle group and then one for the other. So today will be 3 exercises for glutes and hamstrings and then 1 for quads and then calves. So let's get in there. All right, marking up in the gym is definitely a first for me, but gotta do it. I'm starting off with lying leg curls. I like doing these before the RDLs just because I feel like if I do these after the deadlifts, they just feel kind of awful. The fatigue from the deadlifts kind of makes these really awkward to perform, so I start these. I normally do 3 sets here and then move on to the deadlifts, and that's pretty much all the hamstring work for the day. Alright, RDLs. So I had to take about 2 years off doing these entirely just because I couldn't hold the bar in my hand anymore. So I pretty much had to stick to leg curls for a couple of years. So I'm still rebuilding strength up on these, but they're feeling good. Couple of sets on the hip thrust. you're a guy and you're skipping glutes, grow up. Everyone's favourite carbs. I don't even know why I bought the fucking training these. I need to grow. I'm pretty happy with how that session went. Everything progressed pretty nicely. Energy was definitely a lot better than the last week. I feel like that is probably my hardest session of the week. RDL is probably a big reason for that. That's why I keep them to 2 sets. And honestly, those 2 sets of RDLs will wreck my hamstrings. Like, I'll be sore for the next 2 or 3 days because of that. So my leg training is definitely really low volume at the moment. And I kind of found this out on accident before, like, I feel like the low volume, high intensity training really started taking off. A few years ago, I dropped the volume on all my leg training because I feel like my leg development was kind of outpacing my upper body. So I thought I'll drop down to 1 leg day, I'll start doing less work. And then surprisingly, my legs actually started growing even more. And then I realized, wait a minute, maybe dropping the volume a bit and training harder is actually the key. So then I started applying that all across the board. And that's when I really started to see good progress. So I feel like you're always coming across all this conflicting advice and information online about how to train, how much volume to do, how much frequency, how much intensity, blah, 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 what split to run. Honestly, just do something. Be consistent, train hard. It's probably going to work. You can try out different splits, different amounts of volume, intensity. You can find out what works for you. Trial and error. Experiment. Just have fun with it. Unless you're really trying to push to become like a fucking pro bodybuilder, then it probably doesn't matter. Anyway, it's an absolutely cracker day, so I'm gonna go and catch some sun because I need to really work on this tan because I am looking white as hell. So, see you next time.